Hey everyone, Sandra here with Hummingbird Haul. I am shipping today and I thought it would be really fun to take you along for the ride. I'll show you what sold, how much it sold for, where I got it if I can remember, and just let you see kind of what my store is about. I am very much a bread and butter store. Of course, I'm always looking to find that bolo or increase my average sale price, but day to day, I'm selling things that you and I probably wear, and it's really fun to get these items back in the hands of, people to love them again. So let's get started. The first one on my list, this is from eBay. So I am shipping for eBay today, and then I'm also shipping for Poshmark. So I will let you know which one it is. So this first set is going to be eBay. And this is, it's a jacket. I already have it wrapped up, so I will put it on the screen for you so you can see it. It's a Pineapple Connection, men's large, Sherpa lined corduroy trucker jacket. It's in brown with like that cream Sherpa, and it is also short. It's a waist size, and that sold for $49.99 plus shipping. I got this actually, this came out of my most recent wholesale pallet. That's where I got this one. So let me get this one shipped. Now, I don't know about you. I used to weigh and measure everything for eBay when I was doing my listing, but I weigh it for sure just so I know what the weight is, but my sizes are always about the same. This one is 2 pounds, 2 ounces. So I don't actually put my weights in until I ship it. I just find that I end up having to double check my measurements and my weights anyway. So I don't do it until right before I ship it. This one is 16 by 13, and it's big by 5.5. I do measure and weigh everything for Poshmark, Macari, Depop, those, because you want to put those in right away when you do your listing, since those labels just get printed out. One of the things I'd like to do is I would like to reorganize or reconfigure my shipping station so that it's more like an L, because one of the things you'll see me doing today is I have to go back and forth, which is not, it definitely has room for improvement, you know what I'm saying? But I have so much inventory coming into my space that I just put it along the wall. And at the time I thought it would work really well, but if I could just, go back and forth like this and not have to step around, that would be fantastic. All right, the next one. This is an Old Navy hoodie. It's a men's medium, heather gray. I'll put it up on the screen for you. It is a fleece long sleeve with a kangaroo pocket, and it sold for $15.75 plus shipping. I don't know about you. I just put a little thank you sticker over my SKU number, and I used to, when I first started, I used to actually write thank you notes. And I am very curious if any of you still do that, if you ever did that. I didn't realize how time consuming and difficult that would be after you get a few orders. This is 1 pound, 6 ounces. Usually I have the bag that I'm shipping right there, actually where you all are right now. I can just put my items in the bag, so I'm not like all over the place. But today I'm just going to stack them so that you can be over there in the corner with me. So this one is 14 by 13 by 13 by 4. We've got some big items going out today. I do not remember where I got this hoodie. I think it was from a local thrift store, and I think I paid like $3 for it, if I remember correctly. On the jacket that I just shared with you, that one I paid $6 for. Okay, next one is, this is a Nike t-shirt. It is the Nike T, if you recognize that. It's a men's medium black with the red swoosh on it. If you can see that right there. And this one sold for $10.49. And listen, $10.49 is $10.49, so we'll take it. And they're getting a great deal. I think I paid less than $1. I think I paid about 50 cents. I don't remember it being more than that. And I think I got it at a yard sale. So that's not bad. We'll take it. I don't know about you, but when I first started reselling, my very first item that I sold, 7 ounces, was a cabbie jacket. And it was a cabbie jacket that I owned. So you know how they say when you're first getting into reselling, sell things around your house. And so I sold this. It was this camel long jacket, really pretty. And when you first start selling, there's a tendency, I'm really curious if any one of you are like this, there's a tendency to overprice your things. So, because cabbie jackets were expensive back in the day. And so I think I priced it for, I don't know, like $150 or something like that. And I ended up getting an offer. I just remember this so specifically, which is weird because it's been a long time. I got an offer for $38 and I declined it because I was like, $38, this is worth so much more. And then, I realized a few weeks later when I got an offer for $32 that maybe this is worth $30 and I need to rethink, what the market will pay versus what I think it's worth. And I certainly see that whenever I go to a yard sale or a garage sale, that people who just want to get rid of their stuff, and then there's people who they put a lot of money into it and a lot of value, and they think it's really valuable, and to them it is, but maybe not to the person that you're going to try and sell it to. This is a Dickies men's black cargo scrub pants, drawstring waist, and it's a size 2XL. And I will tell you, scrub pants, any type of medical clothing, utility type clothing, is super, super quick to sell, I've found. And I found it to be quick to sell in really any size. People are looking for their scrub pants, but they also want it to be clean. And I don't mean like washed clean, of course, but they want it to have no stains on it, no rips and tears. So if you find them in good condition, I think they can be a really good, again, just a staple of bread and butter. This one's 13 ounces. I forgot to tell you what it sold for. I'll tell you in just a minute. 11.5 by 12 by 2. And it sold for $21.98 plus shipping. All right, let me get this one going. So I don't know about you. Some people don't like to ship. I love to ship. I love to ship because it is cash. You know what I'm saying? Every time I ship something, that means I've sold something. All the work you've been doing, all, you know, right? Like I'm sourcing, I'm photographing, I'm washing and drying, I'm, you know, listing. And when you get to when it sells, it is very, very cool. Next one on the list. This is an interesting one. Oh, it's at the bottom of my pile, but I'm pulling it out. This is an Eric Church t-shirt, a women's XL, green camo, and it says "Good girls never miss church." That's the graphic, and it's pink on this camo t-shirt. And this sold for $10 plus shipping. And I got this out of it was a wholesale buy that I got out of New Jersey. And I actually met that person on Whatnot. So if you're looking for wholesale, don't go online and just look up wholesale and then hope you're going to find somebody reputable. There's so many scammers out there. It's nerve-wracking to try and find wholesale that's, you know, reputable and they're going to ship on time. 7 ounces. So when I first started doing wholesale, I would go to Whatnot auctions and I would buy from them, you know, that's 12 by 11.5 by 2. So I would go to Whatnot auctions or auctions on District, and I would pick and choose 1 or 2 at a time, maybe more. I would not buy a lot because I wanted to see the condition they came in and how quickly they shipped, you know, kind of vetting potential suppliers. And then I would pick the ones I really liked and I would keep going to their auctions. And they will either tell you or you can ask if they do any wholesale or larger lots. And that is how I ended up finding my first couple of wholesalers. And it was great. And I ended up getting some really great items. Not all big sellers, but some. I mean, you were hoping that you get some bread and butter and then a couple of bolos so that it all, you know, moves you forward. And it was nice because I got things that I would never get locally. All right, this next one, $43.73. That's right. This is a pair. These are new with tags. Vintage Wrangler men's 40 by 36 original fit cowboy cut blue denim jeans, and they're made in the USA. So these sold, got to tell you that before I go on. These actually sold on an offer for $16. These I probably could have held on to and waited and got a bigger amount because I want inventory moving through my warehouse. I do not want to store inventory. I am not waiting for the most amount of money I can get. I'm waiting for a good offer. I took this offer and it's out the door. So I'm okay with it. All right. It is something that it took a while to learn because like these, they're vintage, new with tags, and they are made in the USA. So these, in the past, I would have held on to until I got, you know, somewhere around $30 or $40. But the problem is, you know, if you do that, that money is tied up in that inventory until you finally get that offer. 2 pounds, 3 ounces. And these were an unusual size. So the fact that these were a size 40, 32, that is not a standard size. I forgot what I said. You all could remind me, I'm sure. 2 pounds, 3 ounces. So you have to look at that too when you're accepting offers. If it's something that you know is going to be in high demand, like if those were 34s or 36s, 14 in the waist, 14 by 13, I might have held on to them longer. 14 by 13 by 2. I like to start off my day with shipping. I'm late today because I had some other things happen, so I'm getting these ready right before I take them to the post office. But I like starting my day with shipping. It is just nice to see those orders, get them all ready, get them bagged up, and then I just hold it until right before I go to the post office, and then I'll ship whatever's left. I take it to the post office every day. You know why? Because I know they stop here and then they go to all the other places on their route, which totally makes sense, except I'm not sure they're going to check my things in that day, and I want to make sure it gets scanned. So maybe it's a little bit of paranoia on my side, but I have it in my policy that I'll ship within a day. And so I want it there. I want it scanned. I used to even go in and hand scan them, where you can do that at the kiosk. I haven't done that recently because it gets hard when you ship, 15 items. That gets harder. But honestly, right up till Christmas of this year, I did that. And I would sometimes have my son take the shipping and I would make him scan them all in. He would see other resellers or other, sellers just dumping all their stuff into the slot, and he'd be over there scanning them one by one. But I wanted to make sure they were scanned in and ready to go. All right, this is a Rothko Youth Teen camo t-shirt, size medium, made in the USA. It's like a green-brown camo, and it is short sleeve. It's sold for $8.40 plus shipping. This came out of the wholesale palette that I just got, and it is one of the things that you have to deal with wholesale, is that you don't get to pick and choose one by one your items. So there are things that, like, I would never probably pick up a camo t-shirt just because, it's not going to sell for a whole lot. But it was in great condition, and so it is going out the door to somebody who's going to get a chance to enjoy it. And tell me if you like videos like this. I wasn't really going to do any type of videos where I show what I'm selling. 12, because so many resellers do. 12 by 11.5. I think that's going to be one. Yeah. So many resellers do, but this morning as I was pulling all the packages, I thought it might be helpful, because if you're out sourcing, it's helpful to know what types of items are selling that aren't your well-known brands, right? Like Ralph Lauren or Madewell or Anthropologie, or there's so many brands that we all know and love, but then other items do sell, and it's good to see that, I think, in case you're trying to expand your knowledge. Let's do the next one. This one is a Columbia. I sell a ton of Columbia. I don't know if any of you do. It doesn't sell for a huge amount, but I probably sell several Columbia jackets, fleece jackets, a week during the cold season. So this is a Columbia fleece jacket, full zip, women's large, creamish white, and it's a mock neck, and it sold for $17.49 plus shipping. So I sell a lot of Columbia, and I get a lot of Columbia, and I can source that here locally. So we have a lot of outdoorsy type activities and people. So I had heard that Columbia wasn't a great brand to pick up, but you've got to sell what works in your region, and it's not the same for everybody. Like I sell a lot of Wrangler jeans, and I have heard that Wrangler is not a good pickup, but it sells for me. 1 pound, 3 ounces. So if it sells for you, keep doing it. And that's one of the challenges, I think, when we're trying to learn 14, we're trying to learn brands. 14 by, I'm going to say 14 again, by 3.5. You want to learn brands and you want to know, styles, things like that. And it's super helpful to, I think, watch videos and see what's selling and, just kind of earmark the ones that you think might be available where you live. But if there's things that you have a lot of in your area and you're interested in selling them, look them up online. Like do a little research and see how many are selling, how many are available, right? Don't always think that if somebody says don't sell Wrangler, the Wrangler doesn't sell. It just means it doesn't sell for them, but it might sell for you. I picked that one up. That is part of the wholesale, the palette that I just got. So that's why research is so important. And the other thing you can do is you can go in to eBay. So this is eBay specific, but you can go in and you can search by zip code and just see what's selling in your area, which I think is very helpful to know what other people are selling that you will probably have access to get locally. Okay, this one's cool. This is a knit hat and it's handmade, and I got it on Whatnot. And I know it's lilac and it's a medium. I probably have it in here. It is a hand knit ski hat, adult medium, lilac, acrylic, hand dyed, and it has the removable palm, which I didn't know you could do, but I went to a Whatnot show and the woman who sold this she was retired and she wanted to knit, and so she was selling her hats and she was very creative. These are all beautiful. This one sold for $11.50 plus shipping. And I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. And so we're going to get that one out the door. And somebody's going to get a beautiful hand knit hat at a great price. And to remove the palm is kind of cool because they look cute. Like when you're skiing, they look really cute. But sometimes I just want it to be more like a beanie and not like a big, palm bouncing around on your head. All right, this one is 4 ounces and it is 9.5 by 9.5 by 2. So I'm curious if any of you got nervous when you first started reselling, if you're a reseller, if you struggled with shipping at all, or if you just jumped in and did it. If you're thinking about being a reseller, don't let the shipping part scare you away. It's the same every time. You're going to weigh it. You're going to measure the width, the length, and the depth, and you're going to pack it really tight if it's a box and there's something in it that's breakable, and you will learn shipping very quickly. I actually did a shipping video. It's coming out in the next few days just to talk about how to set up business policies in eBay. If you've not done that before, it's very straightforward on how to do it, but I didn't do it for the longest time. I did calculated shipping for, I would say like the first year. I did not feel comfortable with business policies. And then finally, I decided to do it because I wanted everything to be really simple. Like you'll hear that from me all the time. I want I want my bags and my shipping station to be simple, and I wanted my shipping policies to be really easy to understand. And the other thing I like about it is if I were a buyer, I would want to know what my shipping is going to be before I go through and add it to my cart and put my address in. You know, it's just nice to know, like, this is how much I'm charged for shipping. So that's my personal preference. That's may not be at all how you think or how you run your business, but I'd be really curious to know how you handle shipping. All right, these are Ouden Women's 4X blue waffle knit lounge sleep pajama pants, which is a mouthful. These are like joggers, and waffle knit joggers is what I would call them. And they are new with tags, and I got them out of a different wholesale that I purchased. It was around October of 2025, and these sold for $13 plus shipping. So I charge shipping, separate shipping for everything. The only time I don't charge shipping, or the only time I don't separately charge shipping is for some kids things, because they're small and they're going to be like $4 or $5 to ship. So separating it out, I think sometimes for parents have enough decisions to make in their day. 1 pound, 2 ounces. So I just put those together. I combine my shipping. So it's just whatever, what did I say that was? Whatever the amount is, plus I add a few dollars for shipping. But I don't do it for children's clothes unless they're jeans, something that's heavier. And I don't do it for very small items like I have a whole set of like sports bras that are new with tags. I didn't do separate shipping on those. 14 by 13 by 2.75. So if it's really small, I just don't like to separate out the shipping. And I'll tell you why. That it's because I will forget what the shipping is when I get an offer. And if I do the shipping separately, I don't have to think about it. If somebody sends me an offer, I can negotiate that offer just based on the offer that they made and how much I paid for it. I don't have to also then calculate what shipping is going to be in my head, because I'm usually accepting offers from the phone, from my phone, not from my computer. So it just makes it easier for me to know, like, okay, if they made me an offer, does this work with what I paid for it? And is this what I'm willing to take? Or do I want to counter offer them? And I don't have to think about shipping. But for smaller items, it just seems like that's just easier for customers to do it that way, to let them have it all combined in one amount. I have a few Poshmark orders. I thought it would be fun to go through those as well. These are a little bit easier to ship just because they are, I just print the label. So the first one that I am shipping is an Athleta Girl puffer jacket. It's a blue-gray color, fleece-lined, zip front, and it's in a girl's size 12. So I will pop this one up on the screen for you. So for Poshmark, I will just put a thank you on their order slip, put that in the bag, and then seal it up. I don't do that for eBay. I don't put in like an order slip of what they ordered. I have never had anyone ask me for it. But for Poshmark and for Macari and Depop, I do that. All right. This next one is a bundle. And it is, I don't know what it is. It is a Goodfellow Company men's fleece quarter zip pullover. And it is new with tags. And then it is Dickies men's long sleeve Henley. So it is this one. All right, so always nice to get a bundle. It tells you on Poshmark, so if they do a bundle order, it gives like a little 2, so you know that there's 2 items. But also when you print off their order slip, you'll see it. So if you, for whatever reason, you're rushing and you go to ship an item and you don't notice it when you're pulling the item, this gives you one last chance. Just make sure you're shipping everything out correctly. All right, we've got 2 left. 2 left. This next one is a Polo Ralph Lauren striped cotton t-shirt. It is a women's size medium. This is such a cute t-shirt. All of these items came out of the wholesale bundle that I just purchased. So I've been selling really almost as soon as I put them online. I have been selling the items out of that wholesale. So I've been super happy with that. Oh my goodness. I do not want to do that. I was going to send a Poshmark order in an eBay bag, which would be so bad. Let's not do that. Let's not mix up where we're shipping. Okay. So let me put this in, print my label. My goodness, that would have been confusing as could be for that buyer. I ordered those labels, honestly, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Those bags, those poly bags with eBay on them. And then I put the box away somewhere. I didn't even realize I had them until a few months ago. So it's like I've had these poly mailers just sitting around not being used. So I'm literally putting thank you in a smiley face. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I don't know if I told you what this sold for. Let me take a look. And we've got one more. I will tell you, it's a little challenging to ship and talk to you all about it. So please let me know if you like these. I'm happy to do them. If you don't like these, it's probably because I'm all over the place trying to ship and tell you what I'm shipping. This sold for $12 plus shipping. We've got one more for Poshmark, and it's these. And these are Madewell low slung baggy jeans, black denim, women's 26 button fly. These are cool jeans. And this customer got them for $15. I think it's quite a good purchase for them. The jeans are cool. I hope they fit. A little thank you there. And I got these not in this palette, but from a previous palette from the same supplier. And they're in great condition. Now, normally I would not have to bag these up now because I would already have them bagged. But like I said, where I keep my bag to ship usually is where all of you are sitting. So I'm going to go ahead and bag these up, and these are going to go out today. So that's it. That's it for today. I really appreciate you hanging out with me, and I will see you on the next one.